5:45. I immediately put on my workout clothes because I wanted to get my workout in. Dropped Reagan off, came back, noticed her lunch was sitting on the counter, rushed to school, got alarms from my car that my tire pressure was low, rushed to Firestone, checked out, Reagan texted me again, chargers back at school, had to go back, finally got a run in, then the contractor started calling, and then finally at 10 a.m. I opened my phone to realize that today, all this happened before 10 a.m.?
Yeah, I got up at 5:45.
That's like a week's worth of work for me. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Noah from Cola REI, famously hot real estate group. And tonight's a special night. We're celebrating. It's International Women's Day, and I am so stoked because I have a rock star lady on the line, one of my favorite people. She's a amazing real estate investor, tenacious real estate coach. She's a goal setting and goal crushing diva, and she's a really good friend of mine. I can't think of anyone more qualified to be here to talk about crushing real estate and business, especially with a day like today, International Women's Day. So without further ado, I'm so happy to be able to introduce you to my good friend, coach, mentor. Her name is JoAnna Anderson. Let's welcome her to the stream. JoAnna, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm excited. Can you tell?
I'm equally as excited.
I got big teeth, and you can see every single one of them. Thank you so much for spending your evening here with us, and I know this group is really excited. So our Facebook group is about three things: learning, networking, and growing. So I know that we can do all three of those tonight, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So happy Women's Day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I'll tell you, I saw a Facebook post of yours today. Can I share it real quick?
Sure.
Okay. All right. I got it pulled up here. Check this out. So this had me laughing and giggling to myself and just, smiling, because really this is what it's all about. And I see my wife doing this on the daily, right? And I know you and her are really good friends, but this was your post. I just realized it's National Women's Day. Honestly, I had no clue there was such a thing. Mondays are all crazy. Today was Reagan's first day physically at school, and that's your daughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We started at 5:45. I immediately put on my workout clothes because I wanted to get my workout in. Dropped Reagan off, came back, noticed her lunch was sitting on the counter, rushed to school. Got alarms from my car that my tire pressure was low, rushed to Firestone, checked out, Reagan texted me again, chargers back at school, had to go back, finally got a run in, then the contractor started calling. And then finally at 10 a.m., I opened my phone to realize that today, all this happened before 10 a.m.?
Yeah, I got up at 5:45.
That's like a week's worth of work for me. Today's a day to celebrate. I'm here sitting in my bathtub enjoying the self-care, although I know I have 15 minutes before I have to put my Superwoman cape back on and crush it. 15 minutes of self-care goes a long way. Get it in today, ladies, no matter what.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is, it was a day, and a Monday at that, to have all this extra craziness, and first day back at physical school. We're all excited, and Reagan could walk to school, but it actually was cold this morning. And so we had, some variables we had to change in that schedule. And I was like, I've got to work out today. So creating good habits, you put your clothes on first before you do anything. So you can't say, oh, well, now I got to go put my clothes on. It's not worth it.
Okay.
I could put so many things to the side. And running is definitely the first one that is easiest to push to the side because I got so much to do. So when I actually finally got a chance to go out for my run, I was like, well, my contractors are going to call. So I had to put my credit card in my phone case while I was running because I knew they were going to call while I was running.
Yeah, right. So there's a great tip right there. Put your workout clothes on right when you get out of bed, so you can get it in whenever you can get it in, I guess, right?
Yes, yes.
Why do you think women make such great entrepreneurs? You know, is it the juggling, being able to juggle everything, or what do you think it is that makes women such great entrepreneurs?
Yeah, well, definitely we are multitaskers by nature. And so we can handle so many things at once.
Yeah.
And most of us are very selfless. So we take care of others before we take care of ourselves, which is a fault.
Yeah.
But it's also a good asset. And many of us are motherly. So not only do we just take care of everything else, but we take care of people. We take care of our contractors. We take care of the people that we work with. We want to see them do well. Many of us do. I can't say that for all of us.
Right. Well, yeah. And you know, let's talk a little bit about that. Like, is there, you know, because you're a real estate investor, right? And basically this group is about real estate investors, real estate professionals, whether it's agents, contractors here in Columbia, South Carolina. You know, what are what are some perks to being a female entrepreneur, a real estate investor, when it comes to like working on the job site or in real estate in general?
Yeah, so it is a perk that sometimes men think that you don't know how to do things. So you can get them to do things for you.
Okay. Yeah.
that you can easily do yourself. I get better pricing.
Yeah.
I get care when I come to the job site. You know, they kind of like part the Red Sea for me.
Yeah, that's good, right? Well, who wouldn't, right?
Huh?
Who wouldn't? I'm sure all the guys part the Red Sea.
No, they don't. I've had some bad experiences too.
Yeah.
But it's good that we can kind of be sheltered, but be very powerful underneath that shelter. You know, I don't need to go in stomping with my high heel boots because I am the only girl on the scene. I don't need to make it known that, hey, I'm the girl, but I also hold the checkbook. So I have the power in many cases there.
That's awesome. And how long have you been investing in real estate now?
9 years now. 9
years. And before real estate, because one of the things that, and if you're not following JoAnna Anderson, I would go find her on Facebook. I'd find her on all the social media outlets, because you do a great job of branding yourself and establishing credibility as well. Would you agree with that?
I think so.
Yeah,
I can always do better.
Well, but you've documented your journey really well too, like your YouTube channel and all this stuff. You know, as far as like when you're talking to a private money lender or you're talking to a seller, you know, credibility is really important. And if they don't know you and they go to look you up, because I just did a quick little Google search. I was like, oh my gosh, she's done all this amazing stuff between Fortune Builders and with RealFlow, right? And everything, and your company, your flipping company, which is is it Remnant?
Yes, Remnant Real Estate Solutions.
Yeah. Why'd you pick that name?
So my original company, I owned with my husband at the time. I'm no longer married. And so when we got a divorce, he took that company. And so I had to start all over from scratch. But I was like, you know what? I'm built for this. I am the remnant that God has chosen to move forward and prosper. And so
boom. There it is.
And that is exactly what has happened. My business is leaps and bounds better than it was when I had a partner.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think, I had to dig deep. I had to dig deep and overcome some obstacles with the divorce and with losing the company, because I lost all like business credit, all those things. I had to start from the very bottom, but I also had to realize my own strength. And I had to, just kind of pick myself up and realize that the credibility lies with me. It didn't lie within the name of that company or within that company. I was the wheels on the bus there. And I just had to grab a few more parts and build something new and better.
I think you've done that.
Thank you.
For sure. Yeah, so you've always been, I've really been inspired by you and hearing your stories at Real Estate Ignite. You know, those of you who don't know, I've seen JoAnna on stages with thousands of people listening to her tell her story. And would you mind sharing your little bit about your story?
Oh,
To
absolutely.
this group?
I love telling the story. Excuse me if I get emotional.
Well,
Because
and here's what I would say. Like, for those of you listening, like, you know, when you look at when you know, look at someone for help or guidance, when you're picking mentors or coaches or just simply following someone on Facebook, hoping to pick up, you know, some advice or to learn the business or whatever it might be, there's some things that like we look at, and one of them is like, did they start? Is their story similar to mine? Right? Have we gone through similar challenges? And, you know, are they actively doing the business? And so when you start looking at like who can help me, who do I want to learn from, it's important to say, hey, look, I can relate to this person. And there's so many different elements to your story that I feel so many people could relate to, and I think a lot of people in this group would be inspired by it. So thank you for sharing. So sorry, go ahead.
you're welcome. Well, we'll start with the biggest bang. I am the youngest of 28 kids. Okay, so 28 kids. My mom did not birth all of them, but they are my biological siblings.
Yeah.
From my mom and my dad.
Wow.
And we all grew up in the same small town, and we're all close. We're all close, but I just happened to be the baby. I always tell my siblings that they were the prototypes and I was the perfection.
Oh, is that the advantage? Like every lesson learned, you know, like over the years.
Yep, I just watched them make mistakes, and then I could get away. I knew how to get away with it.
Oh, okay. I like that. Right. All different type of hand me down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So obviously with that many kids, we were beyond poor. We were well below the poverty level. We lived in houses that were infested with snakes, some infested with rats. We had wood stove, which I loved.
Yeah.
We lived in homes with no running water, and that means no operating bathroom. And with that many kids, I think our house technically had 2 bedrooms, and we turned a porch into a bedroom. And it was in my mom's children. She had 9, and it was only 2 girls. So me, my mom, and my sister slept in the same bed, which left me in the middle of both of them, which is a nice, cozy spot. But my sister peed the bed, so.
Have you ever shared that on an interview or anything before? Like,
no.
Oh man,
I
hope she watches.
And then the boys had their room on the other side. So it was very humble beginnings. House filled with love and filled with adventure also.
Yeah.
So my youngest brother, older than me, of course, but we were always getting into stuff. It was more so him getting into stuff, and I was the one in the corner snickering and laughing.
Right.
And agging him on because he was terrible.
Now, when you see like a snake today, like you said, you grew up with snakes. Now, are you the one that's going over and grabbing it and throwing it back in the woods? Or are you
No, I am terrified of snakes now.
Okay.
Before, when I was little, I would help my brother find them. I would follow them around. He'd put them in the big pickle jar and take them to school to his teacher.
Yeah.
And I was always the one like helping him find them. But now I'm terrified of snakes.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So, one story. My sister decided to have some people over. I don't know if it was her birthday or what, but she was having a get together at our house, and her friends didn't know that we had mice, as we called them, but no, they were rats.
Yeah.
And one came out on the TV, and so we had to pretend it was our pet.
Oh my God. Did you try to grab it, or what did you like? Did it have a name?
Probably like, no, that's just, whatever we named it at that moment.
Like, everybody play it cool. That's funny.
Yeah. So we grew up that way. And then probably when I was about 7, we elevated to the projects. So we moved to the projects, which was a super upgrade for us. We had running water. We could take a bath. I don't think we had a shower. No, we didn't have a shower, just like a bathtub, but we were so excited.
Yeah.
The lights were on. Every now and then we'd have phone connection. And we were in a community where there were a bunch of kids. So we had tons of fun.
Yeah.
Tons of fun. And eventually I became the only one in the house. And we had moved to another house. And I was the only one in the house. And my mom basically was like, "You're still here. There's still someone here."
Yeah.
I was extremely independent.
Yeah.
I started working when I was 14.
What was your first job?
I worked at Winn-Dixie, the grocery store. Actually, no, my first job was at the police station.
Okay.
So there was like a teenage job program because I was 14 for the summer. And I worked at the police station, like filing pawn tickets and like being a receptionist.
Okay.
Which I thought was really cool. I thought I was very grown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I worked at the grocery store and the video store.
Yeah. When did you get into real estate?
Oh gosh, that was much.
Or were you always like as a kid? Did you look at real estate maybe a little different? Like you're like thought of it as opportunity, or you're just like not at all?
No, I was like, are we going to have a house ever?
Yeah.
I had no aspirations of owning a house because, I mean, no one in my family had ever owned a house. We always rented. And we always rented subpar things. So owning a home was never even like a thought for me. And then, once I went to college, during college, I wasn't thinking about owning a home. I was never business minded at all. Not until I got into Fortune Builders.
I'll tell you, that's so refreshing to hear because, sometimes it's like when you're on like, you listen to different things. It's always like, oh, this is what I've always wanted to do. And so for lots of people that are like, I'm just stumbling into real estate and trying to figure out something different. I think that's like super relatable and nice to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say that it was my husband at the time that wanted to own a home. And I was like, well, okay, what do I need to do? It was never like a dream for me. But then once we did own our first one, that first one we had built, and within 3 months of living there, we were moving from Kernersville, North Carolina to Fayetteville, which is like 2.5 hours. So we couldn't sell our brand new home in a brand new community because they could just have one built the way they wanted for the same price. So when we moved back to Fayetteville, we had to find a house where we could afford both mortgages. And so I found a very, very distressed home in a nice neighborhood because that's what we could afford. And I liked the neighborhood. I was like, we can fix it up.
Right.
Yeah. So we did buy it. My ex-husband did not want that house, but we did buy it. And I called my family. They came down like the Beverly Hillbillies and helped me paint and clean it up and get it livable.
Yeah.
And then within a year, we were moving again. And so we put that house on the market and we made $40,000. So I was like, if this is what we can do without intention, what can we do with intention? Beautiful. So then the light turned on for me as far as the power of owning a home.
Right. And what were you doing what were you doing before like working? Like you were a teacher, right?
So I taught biology for 14 years. Always. I love teaching. It's my gift, my passion to share with the world. And I absolutely love it. I taught biology for 14 years.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that makes you such a great coach is your ability to teach and maybe your passion for teaching, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I think so. And being able to reach students at different levels because we all learn different ways.
Sure.
And if you don't have that background, you may or may not know how to reach other people that don't learn like you. Yeah.
And what's your favorite like technique or strategy? Like what are you doing? What's happening in your business right now? Because you're all over the place. Where are you right now? Are you in North Carolina?
Yes, in Charlotte. I live in Charlotte. I will be in Richmond this week, where I also work. I'll be in Greensboro this week and Burlington. I just keep the wheels turning.
I saw you post something that was like, "Hey, I'm coming to Richmond and this week, and I want to buy a house there. So send me what you got, right? To all your people up there and your wholesalers and your connections." And now you do stuff in South Carolina too, right? Because I saw you in Rock Hill and. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. What's I took a class with you, and it was seller financing was the strategy. Is that a big part of your like tool belt? Like, is that one of the things that you like to always try to negotiate or do?
Yeah, it's my favorite. I can't always, it doesn't work for every deal.
Sure.
But when I do, I feel like I just made $1 million, even if I,
Why do you feel that way? What makes you feel that way?
It's just the power to be able to utilize someone else's financing while helping them. You're helping yourself because you're going to pay a lower interest rate, but you're helping them if they've gotten behind on their payments because now their credit is trash. And by you going in making regular on-time payments, you're building their credit.
Yeah. So you're helping. So you're targeting like maybe like a pre-foreclosure situation where someone fell behind on payments, going in and saying, "Hey, I'll help you rebuild up your credit."
Yes.
And take over. Yeah. And have you ever done the seller financing technique where someone's like owned their home free and clear as well?
Yes, I have. And that was even more powerful for this one lady, Dina. Her house was a disaster. I bought it. I could not see the floor. Once we cleared everything out, which took 5 bins to clear everything out of that house.
5 dumpsters.
Yeah. And these are the 50-yard dumpsters.
Wow. Yeah.
Once we cleaned it out, the floors caved in.
Caved in?
Yes.
They were just exhausted. They're like, "I'm over this."
Yeah, but the thing with her is she had been in a very bad car wreck and she was homeless. Wow. She was trying to live in that house at times, but it was definitely not working out. She was also a hoarder, and even her car hoarded. And so she was homeless and trying to figure out how she was going to pay her bills and get the medical care she needed from the accident. So what I was able to do, because she owned it free and clear, I was able to leverage all of her equity that she had in the property and pay her a monthly payment. She needed to make a certain amount to be able to qualify for food stamps, to be able to qualify for Medicaid. And so by me making those monthly payments from her equity back to her, I didn't pay her any interest. That got her through 6 months of assistance with medical care and food stamps and so on.
Wow. Yeah. So you were able to help her tremendously. So let's talk about goal setting, because I know this is like really important to you. And I'm honestly, like, I'm not a great goal setter. I really am not. I'm good at deadlines, which I guess are kind of like goals. But for me to sit down and like manifest something and say, this is what I want to accomplish, I tend to have problems with that, honestly. What would you say to someone that, is looking for help with goal setting? Like, do you have any ideas or strategies or tips or anything like that?
Yeah. So I would say, first of all, allow yourself to dream and dream big. I watch or listen to 10X with Grant Cardone, and it gets me super pumped every time. He's amazing. He's abrasive, but it works for me, It
works for you. Okay.
And so I took what he was saying and I just really realized I was thinking too small. And I still, at times continue to think too small. So where I may have wanted to just do 10 rehabs, and I say just do 10 rehabs right now a year, I thought that was a lot. I thought it was a lot. So then when he said 10 exit, I was like, well, gosh, how can I do that? And then you have to start thinking, well, one, is it possible? Yes. And then how can it be possible? What do I need to do? What systems do I need to have in place? How many more lenders do I need to have on my team? How many more marketing strategies? How many more marketing dollars do I have to put in to reach that goal? How many more contractors? So you're just increasing your team to meet your needs, to meet this new goal. And last year, I think it was last year. No, yes, it was last year. I set out a goal to make $700,000 a year that year. Okay. And so I was like, okay, this seems like a ridiculous number for me at the time. And I was like, well, how can I do it? Okay, it'll take this many rehabs and they have to profit this much.
Sure.
This many wholesales and this many realtor transactions. And then this many rental properties in order to reach that $700,000 for the year. And I'll tell you, I came so close. It's scary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, why am I not dreaming bigger? Because $700,000 wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
I didn't dream big enough. I could do more.
You can do more. So what? So that was last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you 10X it? What's your goal this year?
It's $1 million this year.
Okay.
It's $1 million.
So start big, 10X it.
I know. I scare myself with those goals, but you know what? Even if I don't make $1 million, even if I don't make 700, I quadrupled what I made the previous year just by setting my goals higher and creating a plan, an actual plan to achieve that. I put numbers behind what I wanted to do, and then I put processes behind those numbers, and I put people to help me fill out the process.
So 10X it, get a process in order, people, and you said something really important. So like you talk about growing contractors, growing your team and so forth, but then you also said you got to grow your private money.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, you sit down with someone and you know this from coaching so many people where you're like, hey, what are your goals? And they're like, well, I want to do 10 this year or whatever the number is. Right. And it's like, okay, what's the average price point of the homes that you're flipping? And if they're like, oh, it's 200, and it's like, okay, well then you got to raise $2 million essentially in creating not just a monetary goal of like, this is how much I want to make, but just remember to look at how much do I have to raise in order to do it. And we're going to be talking about money Thursday night, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
That's right. We're going to be on Clubhouse talking about money and seller financing and private money and all things funding for real estate. So what are you doing tonight? It's only 9:30. I'm sure you're going to like go buy another house before midnight. You got any other plans?
I actually have 5 offers that I need to put in to reach my goal for last week. It's Monday and I didn't make my goal for the number of offers I needed to make. And so I have 5 more to catch up from last week. And then I have 10 this week. So tomorrow I'm out in the field all day tomorrow, and then Wednesday as well, but in a different market. So I have to do all my paperwork tonight because I won't have access to the computer till late in the evening.
Do you like it like that?
I do. It's kind of another blessing from the divorce in that we split our daughter 50-50. So Reagan just left today. I have her for a week, and then he has her for a week. And so the week that I don't have her, I'm in the car, I'm out in the field, and then when I have her, I'm just mom.
Yeah.
And so I get to be versatile like that and still have all of my needs met.
Well, your kids are so cute. Your grandbaby is just the absolute cutest little girl ever. And if her and Cruz ever get together, it's like the gatekeeper meeting the keymaster. Like, I don't know what would happen with those two. But.
Well, we're going to find out this summer because we're coming down and getting on the boat with you.
Oh, yes. Hey, if you come down, can we time it so maybe you can come to one of our REUP meetings?
Absolutely. I love that.
You'd love that. Okay, cool. Yeah. Learn.Network.Grow. And if someone wanted to reach out to you for whatever reason, whether it's help with setting goals or real estate questions or anything like that, can they do that? Can I give them some information?
Yes, please do.
Okay, I typed this up here. Let's see. I got Facebook for now because I love your Facebook page. I just because you're documenting your story, you're documenting your journey. Like when you said you were going out in the field tomorrow, I was like, ooh, she's gonna have some good content, for us to watch. Your crew is hilarious, by the way. Like I love watching your team and how you interact with them. So is this you here, Miss JoAnna, the realtor?
Yep, that's me. Well, don't use that one.
Don't use this
one. That's just for my realtor stuff.
All right, where do you want to send them?
Send them to just JoAnna Anderson, I think it is, on Facebook. Or you can send them to Remnant Real Estate Solutions on Facebook. But to get the full picture, just my personal page.
All right, yep. Let's see. Easy enough.
Easy.
You're in the group, right? You're in our Cola REI Famously Hot real estate group, so I can tag you and people can connect with you that way too.
Yeah.
And if anyone's looking for help with goal setting, I got a link for you too. JoAnna has an amazing course for helping people not just set goals but crush them and break through them, right? And I know you can help them with that too, right?
Yeah. And let me just add that I'm the proof that goal setting works. Like I guess you wouldn't know unless I told you, but I'm wearing a scarf because I have cancer. I know you know, Noah, because we're friends, but I'm wearing a scarf because I have cancer and chemo has taken my hair. But I have cancer. Cancer does not have me. I have not missed a beat in business. Sure, there are days when I'm tired. The medicine is going to do what it does, but I have refused to allow it to stop me or alter my life very much, other than, not having hair and sometimes feeling tired or sick. I get up every morning and I make it do what it has to do, because this is a very temporary thing in my life, and everybody faces, temporary obstacles or hurdles, but it's really how you set your mind to get through those. I know that this is temporary. I'm going to get my hair back in the summer. I'm going to beat cancer. I've already beaten cancer. It was, only a couple of weeks after my first chemo treatment that I could no longer feel the lump under my arm, and I feel strongly that it's because of mindset, and my goals keep me focused on things that are not cancer related, because this is a very temporary part of my life.
Crushed it. It's already done. It's gone.
Yeah,
it's done.
Yeah.
Had no chance.
No chance. 1 million done.
It's already done.
Retiring in 2.5 years, done.
Retiring in 2.5 years. $1 million next year, done. Hey, if you're watching this and you want some help setting your goals, she's your girl, right? JoAnna, thank you so much for just spending some time with us. I know it's late. I know you got offers to write and money to make, but we love you. We're rooting for you. And I'm going to go to Vegas right now, place a bet. JoAnna crushes cancer, right? Because the game's done. It's over.
Done. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm honored to share, teach, whatever, any chance I get.
We love you. Happy Women's Day, right? And go hang out and celebrate with your girls.
Thank you.
Girl, you going savage. We high, I'm hyped up, my eyes light up. When you wake up, no makeup, straight up, authentic, in the fast lane, you own, you don't rent it. Grab the wheel, we going over.
Hey, girl.
We're not live.
I'm like, please tell me you're not live. You look so good. I love that you wear yellow like your doors.
Oh, do I look good now?
I saw your thing. I started laughing. I was like, Noah's like, come down. I'm like, I hope he's not putting me on recording. I'm like 1 beer deep watching The Bachelors.
Girl, you going savage.